Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about how energy vampires are made. And this is a seriously important topic because I really need to talk about energy vampires all over again because it just seems like energy vampires are a thing that people don't want other people knowing about, and it's becoming a thing that's becoming lesser known. So before you would hear people talk about, oh, be careful of energy vampires, these are people who, to get your energy, these are people who they might be passively and actively trying to take your energy. Now I've noticed a lot of teachers, spiritual teachers in the spiritual community, like lots of them, like 10s, 20s, 30s, a lot of people are just, I don't know if they just assume that people know about the knowledge on energy vampires, energy vampirism. I've made videos about it before. You should check those out for my past videos. And yes, all the information stays the same. I just add more to it as time goes on with more knowledge. What's an energy vampire? It's someone who vacuums energy. I'll give you an example. Like I said, I've made videos about them in the past. So an energy vampire, you talk to someone, you stop talking to them. It could be the nicest person in the world. You're like, ooh, what happened? You're like drained. It could be some YouTubers, some TikTokers, some people doing readings on TikTok, etc. Like, you'll just be around them for less than 5 minutes and you're sleeping horribly. It feels like you're like, what in the planet is going on? Basically, you got your energy vacuumed and you didn't realize it. One thing that I have realized in today's day and age is humans are training themselves to not be able to feel. So not in the sense of anything beneficial. So people don't know when something's wrong spiritually, and people are just used to like, oh, this is normal. Oh, this is normal. Oh, this is just a little different today. Versus, hey, there's been a change in my energy field. What's up? What's going on? Now with energy vampires, a lot of you will have kind of an intuition, be like, this person seems like they're not going to help my energy and they're going to hurt my energy. And some of you, your angels, your guides will be like, hey, back up, chill out, like get away from that person, or we'll get them away. So you're talking to them, and your nose starts itching. Like your nose starts itching like crazy because that's usually your angels trying to annoy you, being like, hey, get away from them. Or they'll make their nose itch like crazy, and be like, hey, recall your energy. That person's and these people don't know most of the time that they're taking energy. There's 3 main forms of energy vampires. There's one who doesn't know who they're doing it. They're really friendly. The other one who kind of subconsciously knows, but they don't really care because it's working out for them. And the third type is a very rare type, but actually a real type is an active energy vampire. So people who will do chakra drains or just any form of vampirism that they know they're doing, and they think it benefits them, it really destroys them in the end. But how are these kind of people made? How is that? I'm going to talk about passive energy vampires first, but the same applies to both. How is an energy vampire made? And you have to think about it. I'll be using some examples in this video. Nothing too specific. Maybe specific examples from at the gym and whatnot. But how does an energy vampire start off as? How do humans start off as? We start off as innocent. We come into this world as children, beautiful and innocent, and then the world takes a factor and a toll on us in a good way or in a bad way. So you ask yourself, well, when you were a child, certain things were imprinted on you in a good way and a bad way. You learned habits that were brought up with you. You learned ways. You learned different patterns, etc. Some of them don't work out for you and some of them do. And every person is completely different. So let's just say you are, and this is very specific to empaths. And here I go talking about empaths. People don't want other people knowing anything in the spiritual community. It's all about love and light and just and a lot of the spiritual community is trying to keep people in the dark because a lot of people in the spiritual community, which I would like to say I'm kind of away from the spiritual community. I make my own community of people who know how to determine right from wrong and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, what is benefiting you, and just not running with anything anyone has to say. How are these energy vampires born? Like I said, they start off as empaths, extremely gifted people. And no human is inherently born bad. So these people are extremely gifted people. They're extremely talented. They're very good with energy. They know how to feel emotions from other people. And these are empaths who have such strong abilities with energy, they could probably see things in the spiritual world, feel things in the spiritual world. They know what's going on, and they're able to help people. Most likely they do. If that person's a loving, caring person, even if it starts off in the beginning of their life, that person will be loving and caring. What happens? So with empaths, and if you're an empath watching this video, then you already know, there's two ways you can go. There is no in-between. The only in-between is not acting on it, which is not even an in-between at all. You go the route of you protect yourself. You set boundaries. You know you're extremely gifted, so you don't pour your gifts out into everyone around you till you have nothing left, which I'll talk about in a second. And number two, number one is you put boundaries up. Number two is you don't really check boundaries and you're suffering from being an empath. And you're flat out suffering. Route number three, I said there's two routes, but route number three, you're suffering so much to the point where it's actually become a part of you. So instead of her learning and be like, hey, I need to set boundaries, this is not okay, you actually let that become a part of you. You don't correct it. And what happens, because I'm going to say everything in terms of energy right now. So let's just say you're an empath. You're extremely good at healing people. You love healing people. You love helping people. But you know your boundaries, okay? You balance things. If you're not feeling yourself that day, you pull your energy in, you nourish yourself, you rejuvenate yourself. You wait till tomorrow. You don't help people until you know that you can help yourself first. Like, you're very strict with boundaries. Like, hey, chill out. I'm not, no. Today I'm not, and it's not personal. And even coming from an empath such as myself, which I'll talk about what kind of empaths there are very, very specific lines of empaths. I'm speaking about a general empath right now, which applies to all empaths. So it's not being cold when you have to say, okay, I am not talking to anyone today because in order for me to help you, in order for me to just not be a moody person, for me to control myself, because everyone gets into an off day, even Stoneman. If I'm not feeling my 100%, I'll be like, let me pull into my shell, check the planets, see what's going on, and be like, okay. And I'll still be happy on a day that moodiness tries to get in. Because we're humans, so elements do try to get in. But you do have to have mechanisms, so those mechanisms are very important. So, there. Now, what happens if you don't correct that? So on a day where you're feeling like, you're not feeling, maybe it's just the planets not being in your favor, like, the planet's kind of thrown off your sleep schedule and now you're kind of grumpy. It happens. We're human, okay? If there's one human on the planet that doesn't get grumpy, at least sometimes that person's like, not even fully human. So even Stoneman it happens to. So certain days I'll be like, I'll look at it and be like, oh, okay. Energy's a little bit different today. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to pull in. I'm going to leave my phone on the side. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to feel good. And at the end of the day, I'm feeling amazing and 100%. Instead of at 99%, I'll be at 100%. Which I don't even make jewelry. I don't make bracelets. I don't bless anything until I'm 100%. Not even 99 is acceptable for that. Now, for empaths who don't have boundaries, they can't track certain routes of their energy, because if we're to say we're a perfect person, that's just not true. There's no such thing as a perfect human. God made every human perfect in his image, but no human is 100% perfect, except for his son, Jesus. But the thing about that is, if you're an empath, the thing is, you have to monitor your energy. If you know that you're not supposed to be helping people on a day that you need help, don't help people, because let's just say the glass of water was this much versus this much, and you pour the rest of it, you aren't able to fully help whoever you're helping. You might have helped them incorrectly. You're irritated with them. They might be picking up on some kind of energy that you had when your energy was just off. You negatively affected them by pouring all of your water out of your cup into theirs. Now you're deficit and you're like, what's up? It's now your energy's off because you have the gift of being an empath and you didn't properly assemble your energy, and now you're in a deficit of energy. That's how energy vampires start off. It's like, okay, this person's in a deficit of energy. Or even if they're not completely drained of energy, their energy is just kind of off, and they don't self-evaluate. They don't be like, okay, gotta make some changes, something's different, something's up. No, that person will continue to go on, and they'll just keep going on, and they don't correct it. They don't see that it's okay to have those certain days that they're not 100%. They could be 99%, they could be 90%, they could be 50%. It does not matter. But that person does not get into a habit or a ritual or routine to evaluate that. They don't look at who's around them. They don't look at what's around them, who they should not have let into their day, what they should not have let into their day, what they should have said, what they should have not said. Because 100 factors could be into a role as to why your energy's off. If it's just you alone versus any kind of factors around you, okay, then work on you. Don't work on cutting off factors if it's only you. What happens if a person doesn't get their energy right and they go into a deficit and time goes on? So that deficit of energy became a part of their beliefs now. If it's past 31 days of that person not correcting their energy at all and they're a mess for 31 days straight, after 31 days straight, that person will become the energy vampire. So even if that person, the energy vampire, is around them, let's just say they have a friend with no energy who's not heading anywhere in life, and they're just going downhill. And for 31 days, the magic number is 31. They let that person around them. Now that person's vacuuming energy, and that person has no energy. I mean, you don't have any energy because you've been around the person. They've been getting your energy. Now that you have no energy and that person, they're out of energy because you were their energy, you have two people who have no energy now. Think about it like this. This is really cool as an example. In, I think it was Roman lore, it's vampire lore, basically. I forget, what was the lore? I don't know where the lore originated from, but when a vampire bites someone and they let them live, what happens? They end up turning into a vampire after a period of time. Same thing energetically. So if an energy vampire takes all the energy from someone, let's just say you let an energy vampire around you, or someone accidentally vampirizes your energy because they need their energy, and they might be an energy vampire by accident. Maybe they're not an intentional vampire, but they're just having stuff going on, and you spill all their energy to them. Now neither of you have any energy. Now you're both energy vampires. One energy vampire made another energy vampire, and you will generate energy vampires as an empath who did not correct their energy to the point where now you're an empath in a deficit versus an empath in abundance. Certain people who, the word in the spiritual community, abundance, gets thrown around a little bit too much versus abundance is everything. It's health, wealth, mental peace, stability, abundance, etc. It's everything. Versus people like, oh, I'm an abundant vampire, that's like saying I'm an old baby. Like, put the 2 and 2 together. Like, certain things just don't fit. That's a really good example, too. But the thing is, once that empath, the really gifted person, has no energy left, they haven't fixed things that are taking away from the energy, and now they're in a new place because they hit they're still very gifted, but now they're kind of gifted in a deficit. Now they're going to be gifted at taking energy versus giving energy. Empaths are master healers, master energy givers, and master energy transmuters. What happens if that person's, what's as above, so below? What happens when the tables flip for someone like that? Now they're a master vampire and they don't know it. Think of some people. I'm going to give you an example. Some people are not going to like this. I don't care if you don't like it because it's true. Several people in this world doing Reiki. Yeah, people doing Reiki. If someone doing Reiki falls off track and they don't cleanse, they don't charge themselves, they don't get back to where they're supposed to be being at, when they do Reiki for someone, whoever gets the Reiki will be completely just destroyed afterwards, and they don't know why. They don't know what hit them. It's because they don't know what happened. I mean, I see everyone's doing Reiki now, and some people, I should make a video topic about that. A lot of people are not in a position to do Reiki. Leave it to people who are professionals. Not to people who are brand new trying to fix someone's energy who's not broken, and you broke their energy. Whew. Yeah, I'll talk about that in the future. And that's not going to be a popular topic, but like I said, I don't care because it's true. And the truth will get out. And yes, it will. Now, for someone who goes on past a certain point, who's an empath, who's now in a deficit, now that person's taking energy. Whenever they're around someone, and think about it. Think about people you know. Start thinking, guys. Use your brains. Use your own brains, knowledge, and intuition, and look at your own life where you might see this. Be like, who is an extremely just a vampiric person that I know, And a lot of these people are just people in the workplace, friends from the past, etc. And you're like, who is an extremely gifted people or person that I know? And start thinking. And ask yourself, is this person an energy taker or an energy giver? Maybe they're both, and that's why they're an energy taker. Keep asking yourself questions. Okay, this person takes energy when I'm around them, but they're extremely gifted. It's usually the people who are energy vampires are naturally gifted because they were once empaths, but they hit a deficit and now they're good at taking energy. It could be male, it could be female, it doesn't matter. Women are more likely to be natural empaths. And for the men who get, and this is the law of gender, so don't get mad at me, men. Women are the caretakers. They're basically, they can harvest a baby. Men can't. All right. Now, yes, men can. Not when it comes to nature, because people be like, well, okay. Staying on topic. The thing about this is women are naturally able to receive energy. They're the divine feminine. And men are more so associated with the masculine. Now, there are men who are supposed to balance out their masculine qualities with feminine qualities, etc. You have law of gender. And just different things that should be in order. If too much masculine can make a man sick, too much feminine can make a man sick. Everything's about, and what I mean by sick, it basically means energetically imbalanced. The Chinese know this. It's a part of their yin-yang energy meridians. So there's a yin part of the body and a yang part of the body. Everything is balance. You can't have too much of anything because there is no balance in that. And that goes back to my point about how an energy vampire is made. They're made by an empath who hits a deficit and now they specialize in accidentally taking energy. Now, how else is an energy vampire made? What about the active ones? Because I talk mostly about the passive energy vampires. How is an active energy vampire made? It's someone who's, and this is unfortunate because this is in the spiritual community a lot, some people who realize that they might think it's fun to be evil, they might think it's fun to be dark, they might actively work with demons, and they realize that they can use certain rituals to steal other people's energy. Why would they do that? Because it's entertaining. It's kind of like a high at the time. It's kind of like a drug for them. So certain people in the spiritual community, they'll actually try to take your energy on purpose, and they'll try to take your gifts. You can't take anyone's gifts because God gives you that. They can only pretend to. So God sees that what they're trying to do, and it blows up in their face so hard that it basically cancels them out, and it looks like someone cursed them. That's how bad it is. What else? So active energy vampires, you'll know. Your guides will tell you. Unless you're doing wrong and you need to learn a lesson, then your guides will let you around the energy vampire. So yeah, some people are using ritual dolls and certain sigil magic and stuff like that to put it on their hands, walk by you, tap you on the back, and try to rob your energy from your chakras. So even a passive energy vampire, if they touch you like your boss, I've heard of people's bosses patting them on the back and they're just like, I'm so tired afterwards. What was that pat? I'm like, well, they touched a very important chakra. Even the thing with, one thing people should know is the chakras on babies' feet are extremely sensitive. I have to make a video about that, but people are kissing the feet of babies, and that's actually one of the most sensitive chakras, especially because it's connected so much with the past life. It's the ancestral chakra plus the root star plus the root. You can really mess with a baby's energy by playing with the baby's feet too much, or interfering, or too many people touching the feet, or showing the feet, etc. But the thing about certain advices is no one's ever heard it before and it's not popular. Like, how dare you, Stoneman? How dare you talk about this? I'm telling you guys the truth, and it needs to get out. So I don't care how it gets out, as long as it's able to get out and help people. This is an extremely interesting topic. If you guys have any questions, there could be a part 2, depends, but everything is really covered in part 1, and this is how energy vampires are made. I should do more talking about energy vampires in the future, because what happens if an energy vampire takes your energy for too long? Your gifts will never open. They'll just fully close, or you'll just lose all your gifts. You won't have any access to your gifts. You'll always be tired all the time, and no matter how much sleep you get, you'll never be rested. What else? Energy vampires, no opportunities, abundance goes down the toilet, etc. Because that person's energy is getting all that. Several other symptoms. You make people yawn everywhere you go, etc. There's a billion different symptoms. I'll talk about it in future videos, but if you have any questions, guys, ask them in the comment section. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, comment in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!